All right, all right. It's time to get going here. Let's do this. One more time. Let's go. Let's go. There we are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is December 6th, 2024, and we're going to write a little code today. How you doing there, chat room? Go ahead, give it a try. See if it works.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Got it this time. Let me say hello to the chat room. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. You can see the folks right here. A lot of folks from Twitch. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. A lot of folks from Twitch chiming in here. Great to see you. Hello, hello. Let me scroll up to the top there. Billy Cool with a big wave. CTI Geek, good morning to you in Virginia. Happy Friday, Weird Beard Dev, wrapping up another week with C# code. Awesome. Expanded Cuber with a big wave. Hello. 2 days in a row? Are you kidding? It's been 4 days in a row. How you doing there, Dr. Cox? Something spicy? We might cut a release today. Yeah. Drop a milestone today? Yes, absolutely. Napalm? Yeah, absolutely. Mem Pulowski with the holiday hat emote. Good morning, Robson. How you doing there? C# Titan. Hope you're having a great evening in Australia. M. Pulowski with a big wave. How long Jeff wants to keep the daily streams running? All of December. All of December, Dr. Cox. We're going to go right through. C# Titan with the question, when should you use the lock statement in code? You should use lock statement on shared resources that are used across threads. If you're writing just a single threaded application, you don't need to worry about locking. But if you have a shared resource, something that's static, maybe a singleton that you're working with, you're going to want to use a lock statement at that point. Let's see here. A little, a lot. Hopefully stream won't have any issues today. Twitch has been twitching for a lot of people this week. Codebase Alpha, hello, hello. Yes, we are going to try and do the Hot Wings challenge today. I nearly forgot about it. I need to make sure that I get all that settled in order. The trick is I've got to get things ordered and delivered, and I'm the only one here, for about noon. So I've got to balance that, and I have to place the order while I'm here live on stream. So we'll see about that. Now we're gonna. I want to do it today. We'll see if we can get to it and make that happen. I should be able to. Let's see. Do I have any interest in speaking to dev teams? Asks TJ Sutton. Oh yeah, I certainly do. Absolutely. What sort of topics would I be interested in speaking on? Well, I do enjoy talking about baking. I'm a big fan of yard maintenance. That's definitely something that will be interesting to talk to folks about. I enjoy long walks on the beach. That's a good thing to talk with folks about. I used to work at several startups. Happy to talk about what it's like building and starting a new application, a new project that folks can see start ramping up, and what that whole business process looked like. So I've got experience and expertise talking to folks about that. Of course, webdevelopment.net, latest features, comings and goings around .net and Visual Studio are things that I speak about for my job. That's what I do. I'm going to be speaking at the Philly.net user group Wednesday next week. Wednesday evening, I will be at Philly.net. If there are folks in the Mid-Atlantic region, you want to stop by, you want to say hello, and I've got swag. They don't know it, but I've got lots of swag to bring them. So, yes. 1 second here. So, It should be a good evening, and I'm basically summarizing what happened at .NET Conf. Here's the new announcements, here's the new features that are out, and do that breadth talk, almost a repeat of the keynote, to talk about all the things that are going on over there. So, all right. So just, what the heck? I don't know what these people are doing. Folks asking me questions that I need to be able to handle here. There we go. You're a telehealth startup with a team of about 30 developers with a .NET backend. I formerly worked at a .NET educational startup. We had a team of maybe 10 to 15 folks when I first, not even when I first started there. I was employee number 25, but I was the 5th developer working at the company. And we had, at the time that I left, we had, about 20, 30 developers working on the team. Hope my batteries are recharged. Absolutely, Digital Dummy. They are. They absolutely are. If not, I've got coffee to help me through it. No Sheffo with a big wave. Hello. So, previously, we've been working on a content management application. We've been building this website from the ground up, intended to have the ability to plug in various features along the way. So we're building this as a content management system using Blazor with a lot of server-side rendering techniques built into it. And one of the key features that every content management system has is security and rich control over who can access and work with what types of features. And as we look at the security that ships by default with an ASP.NET application, it's nice, it does its thing, but not everybody wants the same thing. So the solution for when you build with the application framework, when you build with ASP.NET or Blazor, is at build time, choose what you want to integrate with, and they'll generate a bunch of code for you. We need to time shift that a little bit, because folks are downloading and are going to be saying start up and use the SharpSite framework, and I want to be able to customize a website. And hey, Dor, thank you for joining us. So that means you need to be able to choose, hey, I just want to store credentials here in a local database. Hey, I just want to be able to use my Entra ID. I'd like to use Keycloak. I'd like to use this, that, or the other. And we're done the initial configuration of pulling out of the base framework, the base ASP.NET framework, all of that security goo for storing users and passwords in a local database, and we put that in an external library. We need to finish wiring up things like user management, role assignment, and then I think we'll be ready to drop a line and say, okay, this is milestone 0.3. We'll then move on from there and start looking at other customizations that folks want to do with the framework. I'm going to get some music playing, and we will dive into some more tweaking and tuning of the application. I'm going to scroll way down here. Let's start with this. This is VR Birds. So it says it right there. That's how you know this is real. This is Stream Beats from Harris Heller. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Check it out at streambeats.com. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team for making this music that we can listen to today. All right. Moving on. Let me catch back up here. Jackrabbit 2, any recommended beginner-friendly resources to learn about Auth? This is something that I'm working on for 2025. I want to make this a heck of a lot easier for folks, because you're absolutely right. The docs, and it's not just Microsoft, everybody does this. the docs jump right off the deep end and assume that you know about tokens and certificates and providers and passing things back and forth and where signatures go and stuff belongs on headers or cookies and to exactly your request, Jack, I want to put together documentation that goes beginner, intermediate, advanced from here's some very opinionated but secure configuration that you can do with just a few lines of code and get a good experience. Here's how you can tune that once you have a little bit of knowledge and you're an intermediate developer in the topic. And then, hey, I need the advanced configuration. I need to look under the hood and tweak and tune these things because I want to replace the way that stuff behaves. I want to change the interactions with stuff, and I want to write that code myself. And to be able to do that, and have those layers, I think will start to make things a little bit clearer for folks about how this all works together, so that in the end we can all have more secure applications. So, working on it. TJ Sutton says, working on getting a speaker series started. Absolutely, go ahead. You can reach out to me with a direct message on Twitter or Blue Sky, Mastodon, or even on our Discord server. So I'm the same screen name on all of those. That's right. Who needs security, Dr. Cox? Right? It's just security's for chumps, says Expanded Cuber. See.
You keep using the word.
You do.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
It doesn't. When should you use ASP.NET Core versus Blazor? Well, when you use Blazor, you're using ASP.NET Core. So if the question is when should you use MVC or Razor pages versus Blazor, that's up to you. There's no difference. It's just that you're running into a preference. They all generate the same code. So Identity Server might be a future patch, but I'm not building that right now. Cesar, Caesar, let me know. I saw the accent on the E, and I thought that was Cesar. So happy to make sure I have your name pronounced correctly there over on YouTube. A video using Jot and Bearer tokens, exactly. C# Titan. When should you use those things? Hey, I'm a beginner developer. I don't even know what these things are. Just do it. Tim! It's our friend Tim Bodette. Hello. Welcome in. How you doing there, Raiders? It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and we're writing a little bit of code today, building a web application framework called SharpSite. What were you working on over there on your stream, Tim? Let me drop a shout out. Tim's another member of the Live Coder stream team, and I'm going to make sure I spell his name right. There we go. Make sure you check out Tim's stream. He's an independent game developer, building all kinds of cool games and talking about going through the process of not just architecting and building a game, but some of the business and marketing that goes into it too. Some of the research. Security is a tax. Really? I appreciate that metaphor. It's a good metaphor. I'd like us to get to I'd like us as a technical practice to get to a point where it's something that's just baked in and is easy to use. So, brain is a little mush. We're doing some code cleanup on stream bots and overlay. Okay, all right. I feel that. I totally feel that. This is my fifth day, fourth day broadcasting in a row. So, 1 second. I'm leaving a message for Mrs. C Sharp Fritz. All right. There we go. I didn't even check to see if the keyboard camera's working. Is the keyboard camera working? That's because that's a thing. And I feel like I need a button on my Stream Deck for turning on and off the keyboard camera. Yeah, see, it's not working. Aha! It's there, but it's not doing anything. Let's get this fixed. Come on now. There it is. Good thing I checked. Ha-ha! Hey, high-tech redneck. Hello? Oh, yeah, the duck is still here. Everybody needs to see the duck. The quack, quack, quack. The duck is still here. See? Right there. Right there. It's right there, and it's right there. It's so confusing. Use AI to decide if the picture has hands in it or not, and then show it or not. Interesting. I'd want a local AI doing that because I wouldn't want to deal with the fees of it going up to someplace on the cloud and constantly checking. There's a thing there. No doubt there's a thing there. There'd be a lot of wasted API calls like right now, right? Like if it was checking every second because it was watching the video and looking at the frames, like, and would you want to see it now? Or would you want to see it now? Some folks may want to see the entire keyboard. Well, if I do that and the keyboard disappears, and wearing gloves would confuse it. Right. I like the idea. Let me pin that and come back to that. That's an interesting idea. Yeah. I love folks asking questions that they're not going to like the answer to. Green screen under the keyboard and then green gloves. Folks do that. There are folks that do green screen, green mat underneath their keyboard. So, let me dive in here. Let's get into the code and let's talk about what's going on here. I'm gonna put on. I've got the Gunner Razor torpedoes again today. I really like these. So here's my thinking. I want to go through and finish. That's the translator thing that we've been talking about, and we're probably going to end up writing our own. Let's try to finish this milestone, and then play a little Overwatch, and then come back and do the translator and build the translator bit, because I think that's going to be very valuable, and we're going to want that going forward. Key cloak for the keyboard. My configuration, the layers for this are available in my .files repository. If that's something that you're interested in checking out, GitHub.com C# Fritz .files. Right, and there's the Digma folder if you're interested in downloading and checking those out. So we have authentication working. But there's a couple things that I don't have on the issue list here, the planned features that we need to do. That's right. We're working on the online browsing platform to access GitHub. Maybe you've heard of the online browsing platform, right? You use a browser to access the online browsing platform, and there's things out here that you're able to read. People write text and publish images and sometimes even video on the online browsing platform, and you can get to it and inspect. Dear Lord! The ISO, the International Standards Organization, calls their documentation repository online the online browsing platform. It's called the World Wide Web. It's called a website. Call it a wiki. Call it a doc site. Call it a help site. Online browsing platform? I'm sorry, I'm going to need to take away one of your 10 PhDs. Because you just think too damn much about this topic. What? Yes, this is the online source controlled depository platform. That's right. That's right. The online source controlled depository platform. Or is it repository? Online source control repository platform. How's that work for you, Codebase Alpha? The International Data Compilation Research Platform. Can we overly describe more resources on the internet to confuse the ISO? Because evidently the folks with the PhDs over there don't feel like using that common language slang that people use, referring to things as the web. Web, it's only got 3 letters in it. It needs at least 2 or 3 more syllables so that folks understand what the World Wide Web is. What use would an offline browsing platform be? Marcus. There are folks who request offline copies of folks used to get offline copies of the MSDN documentation before it became Microsoft Learn. You would get a DVD, you'd get a box of DVDs that had all of the Microsoft documentation because they didn't want folks to be able to have to go online to read documentation. They were on DVDs. Many DVDs. That's how big they are. Think about, right, a DVD held, how many gigabytes? A CD held about 700 megabytes. A DVD held a couple dozen gigabytes. And we would send dozens of them to people as a shipment with all of the documentation. 4.7 gigabytes. There we go. Like, and there are people who still ask for, hey, can I get an offline copy of the documentation and samples? Like, yeah. And each month you'd get an update series of CDs that were updated versions of those. But it costs so much to press and ship CDs versus it's just online. Just go there and read it. So, Marcus, what you're saying is not wrong. What use would an offline browsing platform be? But there are people who want that. Okay. You're excited for this coding session. For some reason, you struggle with Auth in Blazor. So, I'm not doing anything with interactive server or certainly WebAssembly. And it kind of just flows easily here, but we'll take a look about this. You believe an offline browsing platform is called a book. Yes, totally agreed. So one of the things that I'm working on this month is the next season of C# in the Cards. Ads are starting. All right, for those of you who are still here, you can hear this. Is the next season of season where I'm writing and putting together the next block of lessons for this. My hope, my belief is that enough people have gone through and read and watched this content that when I publish the next season, folks will jump back in and be interested in seeing more of this. And it'll give me that nudge that, hey, this is important and I can keep generating it. One of the things that is absolutely out there for me is all of this content. I should take this and bundle this up as a PDF and make it available as an ebook for $5 on Amazon or something, so that you can get it all in one book. You can put it on a Kindle or some other device and continue. And I should put a contact link up here so that folks can jump back and contact me, ask questions and whatnot. So, but the offline browsing platform is absolutely something that I want to do with that. Yeah, computer manuals. There you go. Flashbacks of accidentally hitting F1, right? Land of the Elite asks, what is GitHub? Is that like a distributed collaborative code base management and repository versioning nexus? I love that description. I love that. Oh, that's great. You remember receiving CDs? Yeah. To be fair, there is something to be said about the ability to continue using that game software, or in this case, documentation as it was. Totally there is. Yeah, with its mistakes too. Making you want to order that DVD collection of documentation. It's not available. But there are folks who reach out and say, hey, can I get an offline copy of Learn? Like, it's on GitHub. Just clone it. Just clone it. There you go. How you doing there, NB, over on YouTube? Trying to record 24-hour news? Why? But in a different form, I want an extremely powerful localized machine learning model that can be used offline. It's one of the reasons I believe AI is positioned. Land of the Elite, thank you. I had an idea for a Kickstarter product. I love this. I had an idea for a Kickstarter product. And the reason I didn't do it is because the legal fees alone would crush me. It is Friday, Fritz. I wanted to make the real Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I wanted to make a tablet with a nice cover that has the Don't Panic logo on it, and have it connected up to the tablet so that there was an LED in it that would blink Don't Panic when you hold it a certain way or something. Big friendly letters, that's right. And with a customized version of Android running on the tablet that basically browsed an offline version of Wikipedia. Had a dictionary on it, but AI being able to answer questions that routing through those Wikipedia articles, which is basically what Copilot is now, is exactly what I wanted to put in there. The legal costs of being able to publish and make something as the real Hitchhiker's Guide and getting the family of Douglas Adams approval for that. Being able to get that cloned copy of Wikipedia, and then how do you keep it in sync? Right? Make a donation back to Wikipedia for the rights to do that. Would have been an incredibly fun little device to build, but those legal costs with the Douglas Adams family for the right to call something the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and back to Wikipedia to be able to clone and keep their content offline and accessible. Would have been tricky. Local AI, I'm way with you on that. You're already using Marvin as your chatbot. Hey, Chris Jones. Wish Black Friday sales didn't just pass. Yeah. So that was something that I was thinking about building and doing as a Kickstarter and would have been a ton of fun. But the legal costs alone and the licensing would have crushed it. Even just buying a cheap tablet and getting a customized version of Android running on it that just had those few features, then you're going to have a whole bunch of folks that would have wanted to, oh gosh, I want to be able to customize and extend and brand and whatever. It would have been tricky. Wonder how well your old PC with a single 3060 and AMD 7300. Okay, hang on. What you're calling an old PC is what I'm running here as my primary. Okay, this is a Asus GeForce RTX 3070 on board here with an AMD 5900. Okay, so what you're calling as an old PC is newer than what I've got. Hitchhike on the online browsing platform. Totally. Gosh. Oh, I love picking on the ISO. It's so easy to do. All right, let's dig back in here. The grant roles permissions to users is the user admin page that system admins need access to. Security text standard, I'm not sure. This may end up getting kicked because there's the security text standard gives ways to report and talk about security policy. And when we think about SharpSite as a framework, how do I make this something that you can submit for the framework versus somebody's website, somebody's implementation? So I'm not quite sure how to draw that line. And this was a suggestion here. I think I want to punt it. Like, this isn't something that we really can do just yet. The page script feature is kind of important because this will allow us to only include the script for the markdown editor that's being used only on those pages that use that editor, and so on and so forth. Offline aspect has endless potential. People don't realize that the internet relies on cables across the ocean. Well, and satellites now, too. Yeah, that was your next clause there. Darn it, why didn't I read? A local offline AI model that doesn't require an internet connection can be used in areas around the world where internet is rare, not available at all. Teach them. And right now, those offline AI models are about 700 megabytes. So you still need about a gigabyte of storage to place it in. Now, it's not uncommon for folks to, with machines that were built in 2024, it's not uncommon for folks to get a couple terabytes of drive space with their device. But when we're talking about a phone or a tablet, they come with 64 to 256, maybe 512 gig of storage. And you're going to take up almost a full gig of that for just an AI model. It'll get wrapped up and called operating system.
Chris Fun 21 just resubscribed for 41 months. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much for that support. Appreciate it. You didn't think your computer was bad until now? Computer bad is a range for different folks. I'm producing and running this video, right? And editing code and compiling all on one machine that has that video card and resources, right? So right? Control Shift Escape. Let's bring up, right, if we look at the performance here. Right, oh, don't. Right, so my CPU is right now up 55%. 12 cores, 24 threads, right? And it's chugging along doing its thing and feeling pretty good about things. It's been up for 3 days since I last rebooted. 64 gig of RAM, and I'm barely touching the upper 32 gig. Fine. That's going to change in a little bit when I open Visual Studio. And my GPU is chugging along doing its rendering here for the video encoding. That's the one I'm thinking of right there. Not sure what it's doing in 3D, but hey. Probably something in a browser somewhere. I don't know. So, that's fine. And then, of course, my network is chugging along doing its thing. Why is it receiving 100 MIPS? What's it receiving? What's this machine receiving? Like sending, that makes sense, but what are we receiving? That's weird. Totally weird. You just ordered an 8 terabyte stick last week. Nice. Nice. You've got it as a NAS right now with two 500 gig drives. So the NAS that I have here, I'm not going to show it on screen because I've learned my lesson with showing that on screen. Come on now. It's your turn to answer. There it is. I'm going to get logged in. I forget how big the drives are. That's how much I pay attention to it. It's like, it's just doing its thing. Where the heck is the storage? So I'm using a Synology device here. Yeah, I'm in the control panel. Hardware. No. I have it hooked up to a UPS and all that. And it's running along, it's doing its thing, it's great. Where the heck is the storage stuff? Storage manager, there it is. That's the one I'm looking for. Come here. Come here. There we go. Yeah, I've got 4 8 terabyte drives in there set up in a RAID 10 layout. As well as 2 250 gig SSDs for caching. So, runs very fast. There's very little wait time waiting for data to come off of it, waiting to write data to it. It caches and spins things out to those disks nicely. I've had a disk fail in the past, and it was real easy to just pull that drive and drop a new one in. I'm coming up on about 5 years of those drives running in there, so I'm going to be due to replace those 4 drives, those 4 8 terabyte drives in the next year or two, and I'll probably upgrade to 12 terabyte drives, something like that, something at a reasonable price to buy 4 drives. I don't want to spend much more than $1,000 for 4 drives and just upgrade the whole thing and have more storage so that I can put more home videos, photos, my source code out there. So I back up my OneDrive to my Synology, so I have a copy at home all the time. So, I have not seen Three Body Problem. There's a conversation that talks about how fast humans have progressed since the Stone Age. Yes, and it's accelerating. Yep. Can you see what I'm doing? No. I'm sorry, I'm not going to show that. I'm not going to dox that right now. Primary machine backup is a 12 terabyte. I take Redneck. You said 12 gig WB? You mean Western Digital? I think you've got a couple typos there. No, I'm not going to dox myself right now. I'll do it later. Okay. That's what I thought, high-tech Redneck. Yeah. So, a 12 terabyte Western Digital external, and that's full. Whew, that's a lot of data. That's a lot of data. All right, let me open another terminal here. I am working on Windows today. I do need to set the Linux machine back up. So we're working on a Linux machine because I think Linux is just a little bit more fun for some of this to be working on. Here we are in SharpSite. Feature Auth. I merged this. I merged that. Feature Auth. Git pull upstream main. Push that up. Right, and I rebased. So when I run git log, added authentication and initial authorization. There it is. Added McNets as a contributor for translation. There we go. Look at that. Added Catalan resources. You prefer disk drives for externals? So by having a server there that's always backing up, that's keeping things in sync, that's pulling down anything that I write to OneDrive, and running backups for things, and videos that I script and write that I push to YouTube are all backed up over there also. Very handy. You have a NAS with 4x4 terabytes under parity and don't come close to filling up. So because I have 4 8s in a RAID 10, that's 32 terabytes. RAID 10 means it makes all of those look like one drive. So, but it's one drive that's striped across them. And because of that striping, there's also parity in there. So I lose half the space. So 32, I've only got 16 terabytes only. 16 terabytes of storage. And that means that if I lose one of those drives, if one of those drives fails, I can put a replacement in, and the other drives will rebuild the content of what's on that failed drive. So that RAID 10 partition is for a system administrator novice like myself, very handy to be able to just have an inherent backup built into the storage system that I have, versus I had an external 500 gig hard drive that I was using for various things, and that 500 gig drive, just a little USB external drive, failed. All that content was gone. Like, there's no way to recover that. This is maintaining and keeping backups on itself. So it is a cool technique. What do I think of the Git source control in Visual Studio? It's nice. They've been improving it and making it easier to do things like generate commit messages and work with GitHub and send pull requests. I really like what they've done with it. However, I'm old school and I like working at the command line. I just am. When I need to do something more complex, I really like the way that the Git integration is built into Visual Studio Code, and I prefer to use that one. That's my preference. Let's get the hang on. We need to do. I don't want to do the page script feature. I want to do. I'm going to end up punting this one, the security text. But roles, permissions, the user admin pages, and being able to register as a new user. So we created these roles. They're in there. And we need a user admin screen. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great way to describe this. Visual Studio Git source control seems tricky. It's not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So I need to reintroduce the profile management pages, and then I need to do the user admin pages here. So let's create a create an initial branch here for yeah, let's just call this security pages. What? Oh man. Git checkout -b feature security pages. Thank you. I'm going to do a git push -u. It's going to push and create a branch in my private repository up on GitHub and set up remote tracking there, so it becomes easy to work with. Hey, that's right. It is a split keyboard. How you doing there, the only second? Yep, and it's got a duck in the corner here. Quack, quack, quack. So, not a fan of the GitHub CLI. Not a fan. All right, where was I? Oh yeah. So let's open Visual Studio. Let's reintroduce some links to. Wait a sec. You. I'm pinning you up here. You always just push and copy pasted an error. Yeah. Yeah. This makes it a little bit easier to do that. Oh, yes, that's right. At 69% and you're not sure? Yeah, that's right. You changed your Defy to Christmas colors? Why isn't this one charging? Like... Right? You should be charging. There, now it's charging. Christmas colors, like, not that one. Now I've done it. It's that one. Well, that's not right. Red. I mean, you could make one left and one right, different colors. Like there it is, kind of pulsing through the various colors. That's kind of cool. But I do like the colors as kind of a cue as to what they were. Yeah, it's their internal settings that will animate. It's not something that we can do in our configuration, user configuration. Pyrocat says Digma really needs to hook you up with a free Defy because you aren't paying the custom charges. They're in Spain. They're in Spain. Right, so... Hey, they have a Discord? I'll have to join that. Cool. All right, just join their Discord. But yeah, you should be able to get stuff in Europe pretty easily and not have to pay significant. I mean, it sounds like you've already looked into it, but evidently it can, because it does. Not that one. There it is. It's cycling the colors, but it doesn't look like not the base core configuration doesn't have an option for you to do color cycling. Yours shipped from China. They only ship from Taiwan, so you do have to pay customs. All right. Ads are starting in a few minutes here. What? I don't know what this is. Moving on. So it is a premium device. I'll just leave it at that. Where was I? All right, so I need to put the profile link back in here, and I fully expect it to move around, but in the default layout here, and we're going to get into theming before the end of the month. I need to start setting up then the user admin and role assignment page. Taxes enormous in the UK. Don't buy tech from the States. Ugh, that's awful. Come to the States, buy the tech, bring it back with you. But I fully appreciate that. Yeah, this is, it is going to get worse with the new administration. So, you ordered the Raise 2 and it was shipped from China? Nice. Nice that you ordered the Raise 2. You just don't want to pay the $500 and then 30% to customs on top. Yeah, I get it, Pyrocat. I get it. Why would who want to come where? There's something to be said for cheap keyboards. They serve their purpose. I've got a cheap keyboard here that I use as my alternate when I hook this up to my laptop. And I still need a keyboard on this PC. And it's a cheap keyboard that I got with my HP from years and years ago. But it's a cheap keyboard and it's a pain in the neck to use. $20 at the local Walmart, sure. You ordered the dash caps. They sent you the one with the letter caps and then sent a whole box of dash caps because they didn't have a dash pre-built in stock when you ordered it. Wow. Okay. Spent $200 on your Keychron Q6. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's dive back in here. In fact, I'm going to cheat a little bit and go to the original layout so I can just copy out the layout to get the profile page on the nav menu. Register, login. So if you are authorized, yeah, there it is. Right there. That's the one I want. So right, if I just grab that, go over to the other one. Where is it? Nav menu. Pages. Here's the authorize. And just paste that in. Thank you. So, account manage. And because we're inside of the authorized view, this context variable is a reference to the authentication state. You see it there. So, right, that should give me the username, which is admin, right? When it created the the admin user. It's not going to give me... It's going to give me nothing. And they gave it to you for free. It's very cool, Land of the Lead. You really want to get a G613. Yeah, I don't... Let me go back over here. Right, I don't think it put a name on that. No. Maybe that username is what it's going to show. Context user identity name. Well, let's see what it puts up there. Yeah, admin at localhost. That's lame. Also, we need to figure out some icons for these Johns. But that should go through. Manage my account. Now, the layout isn't... Aha. It isn't using the appropriate layout here. Because the layout is in the web project. Right, so that went to account manage, right? Which is account manage here, which has an imports, which uses manage layout. Down here. And somehow we need to reference that layout. It almost stops typing or deletes some characters. Ew. Double stroke in RDP. Oh, that's awful. All right, so how do I reference the layout from the web project? What are my options with the layout command? Blazor at layout. There's got to be a way to... Navigation problem. Which navigation problem yesterday? Main layout component. Make the layout namespace available. Yeah. Fully qualify the namespace of the layout where it's used. Doctor Who layout. Apply a layout to a component. Can I... to a folder of components. To control the default app layout, specify the layout in the router component. Oh, it turns out, according to the documentation, the exception that's thrown when you log in to a server-side rendered Blazor application is expected because it does not complete that method. Apply a layout to arbitrary content. To set a layout for arbitrary Razor template content, specify the layout with a layout view component. Nested layouts. Right, so that's a layout. Mm-hmm. To control the content in a layout from a child Razor component, see sections. There might be a way to do this. Hey, Mixtape Wizard Kelly. Hello. How you doing there? A shared Razor project might be a way to go, Blackstones. But that's going to be weird when we start breaking things out into themes. But maybe that is where we want things as themes. Thinking out loud. Sections might be a better way to go with this content. Right? So if instead of this being... Right, if I comment that out. And... yeah, I'm working here. I'm working here! That's fine. I lose the manage on the side. But Blackstones, I think you're going down the right path that we're going to need to do once we start introducing themes. Because pages like this manage profile need to adapt to the theme that's being applied. And they don't know what the parent layout is. Hey there, Alu the Crow. How's it going? So I do want to affect a child layout. Unboxed a MetaQuest 3. Nice. Have fun with that. Writing CSS is bad enough, but rewriting CSS, yeah, that's awful. So it... even if the layout was in a shared component library, I'd have to refer to it directly. Right? The layout, I don't think the layout directive can take The layout directive has to receive code. Right? There's a layout view where you can specify the layout. What if I did... Make the... So what if I... Come on, type right, Fritz. Layout view. Yeah. And it wants a... Can we do this with a little bit of reflection? Yeah. Yeah, Blackstone, that's exactly where I'm going. So can we do something like main layout type? Right? Ah! Don't do that. Right? On initialized. Yeah. Main layout. I think we need to set it up as a get set. Now, why doesn't it like that? Fine. Source generator is not going to work. Trying to think how I'm gonna load this from the other assembly, but it's loaded, so it should be in there, right? Right. Type of wants is it doesn't want a string. But if I do get type, nah, that's type get type, right? Shoot, what's the reflection to load from a string? Yeah, there we go. SharpSite, web. Components layout. Layout. I think that's what we want. Yeah, go ahead, stop. So if this works, then I can specify the layout elsewhere in the application and pass it through. Right? Nah, it didn't pick it up. So what I'm trying to get it to, yeah, there we go. Type get type SharpSite web components layout main layout. Did it? No, still didn't get it. Come here, you. Give me that immediate window. When folks say that they don't believe in debugging, this is why you should believe in debugging. Type get type. I think I need that whole assembly. Right? Web components. There it is. SharpSite web components. What's the full name? Because I have a feeling. Yeah. SharpSite web components layout main layout. I have a feeling I need like an assembly name in front of it. No way. It doesn't. How about BBB duck component debugging? That could be a thing. Hey, Frank, good to see you. It was fantastic to see Frank at .NET Conf a couple weeks ago. My gosh. We've been friends for how long, and catching up in person was just great. Maybe before it's initialized? Well, right, that's why I'm trying. It's not getting the main layout there. So what if I put, right, SharpSite web components layout main layout. So what if I do type get type, wrong one, right, SharpSite web components layout main layout. No, still doesn't get it. Yeah, stop it. The type get type. Right, I'm looking for some signatures there. No, I can't use the type of with the definition because it doesn't have access to it. I don't, there isn't, check this out. It doesn't know what that is because it doesn't have a reference to it. I need to use the string. I need to use the string to access. Gets the type of the current instance. No. Hang on. So the type name, the assembly qualified name of the type to get. Type.assembly qualified name. No. Right. Yeah,
Screech
assembly
Rat just
qualified name.
resubscribed
Screech Rat with the
55
resub.
months. Here we go again with another month of great content.
Yes, thank you so much. Exactly. The component shouldn't know about the layout. However, by making it a string, I can pass that main layout and where it comes from in as application state into all of the components. What am I using? I'm not using anything in Azure to host this site. Where was I? Yeah, for right now, just put that there. Put that back in there, and we'll debug again and dive back into this. That's going to break. That's going to break. Just do that for now, and we'll debug back into this. So Xbox, that's the magic of reflection. I don't have a reference to it, but I can get a reference to it when I'm running in the same memory space as it. Right? Yeah, plug-in loading, exactly. Hey, Reese, how's it going there? No, this is not deployed. This is a framework that we're building, right? So at this point, right, see, I'm in the running, I'm inside the running memory space of the application, and because I'm at runtime there, I can run type of and specify the full name of that type, and it gets that type. See? So I need the assembly qualified name, which is that right there. I had it backwards. Darn it. So now if I do type, get type, right? That, and one of these. Because it's at this point running in memory, I've got it. So I'm going to take that and swap it in. Come here, right there. And if we let that execute, now it's got it. And now it'll. Ha ha! Aha! Woo! That's right.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Because we got it working. So, why do I want to pass the layout to all the components, though? I want to pass the layout if the components have like we're seeing here, have a nested layout, right? In this case, we have a nested layout. The components, the themes are going to specify somewhere, here's my main layout, and it's coming from somewhere else. I'm going to want to pass that around eventually. I'm not there yet, but this is one of those first things where we need to be able to indirectly reference a layout coming from somewhere else. And because I can do that now, and right now, I'm just trying to get the framework working. This is eventually going to be replaced. What? Go away. This is eventually going to be replaced with something that's coming in from somewhere else, and we're going to specify here's the menu items that go with this. Or, right, like I have here, this is the managed layout for this, right? And for all the security pages. Well, all the security pages belong inside of a parent level layout, and this main layout type could be coming from not the default SharpSite web, but maybe it's coming from right, SharpSite fluid theme dot layout, SharpSite fabric theme dot layout. Maybe it's coming from somewhere else, and we want to be able to adapt and pass that string in. And by making it relative like that, now we can come through and use that. Yeah! Thank you for the clip, Chris Jones. So, that feels pretty good, getting that little bit working. Right? So, thinking out loud, our user objects, and two-factor authentication isn't something yet here. This really wants a... Why did it change that? That's a... No, I don't want that. Mom and Dad are playing here. Go away. Happy time zones. Miro! How you doing? Lurking noticed that I'm not streaming. Are you kidding? Did it do it again? Okay. Dude. I was streaming in a category. And it removed it. Like, I was streaming in a category, and it removed it. Restream keeps removing it. Menu's broken because it's not interactive? No. That's not registered, so I'm okay. We'll fix that. No, that works. That works. Yeah, Twitch is a wonderful platform. No, it was removed. It's showing software and game dev now, but it was removed. So you love how snappy it is? We're going to make it better here. I feel like display name needs to be on here also. Like, I always feel like user needs a display name because the name that appears here, being the email address, is just awful. Just awful. Let's add a display name to our user. Which means we're going to need to create a migration, which is going to update stuff. Not showing it on the follow channels tab. Really? Yes, the download stuff covers GDPR. Yep. So here, watch that. Let's talk about how this is going to... so first off, I need to fix email sender. And then... Can I get an and then in the house?
Totes my goats.
There you go. We're going to put the email in there, and we'll add the user accessor. Now, no email sender. We're gonna. This is gonna be annoying. What was the error that we got from back there? I'm not gonna be able to click through to it. Yeah, because I stopped the site. What's the address of that page? Account manage email. Well, wait a sec. If I'm in... No, and then. I can probably do that. Right? Because email sender, right? So send confirmation link async. for this user, but this is looking for a SharpSite user. So
and then
I'll convert it right there like that. Copy that and do the same thing right there. And what that'll let me do is take the email
and then
and move it into the website. Right? So then over here, I don't see the email sender being registered. There it is. I can, because I've made that now reference the abstract version of a user. Hey there. Who do we have joining us? Alex, welcome. I can just put it right there. And this can be a SharpSite user. Now, why doesn't it like that? Let's go take a look over here. Let's just make this, for right now, SharpSite Web, and we can get rid of that. Hey there, Frank.
Puchero's just resubscribed for 38 months. Fun with Auth.
Yes. So I can just replace these. Right? And this... Yeah. And that should now... Yep. So that should resolve the email. Thank you so much, Frank. 38 months. More than 3 years. Man, that's awesome. I can get rid of that, right? And then that can probably go away too. I don't know. Let it ride. Really? Oh, that's inside. Yeah. If email is... It doesn't know what that is. Am I planning to use Papercut for email and dev? Was that the SMTP? There's a test SMTP server that our friend David Fowler showed, and I believe I used it in another project. Yes, though. I could do... Right. I could do that, right? That should totally work. It'll go away eventually, but have a good one, Dr. Cox. Dependency on the Postgres implementation of user removed from the web project. Exactly. right? Slowly creating that abstraction that will separate the Postgres dependency so that we're using the Postgres dependency only in the Postgres folder project. There we go. Who dat? No, we're good. And then email page should work. All right. So I want to add display name here. So let's add a display name property to our SharpSite user and to our PG SharpSite user, and make sure that it knows how to route between those. So SharpSite user, and that's fine to start. Let's create a property here. Nope. Get set. Okay. Why don't you like that? Fine. That's going to choke on our admin user. No matter. There he is. And let's add that property. Public string. Yeah, display name. Thank you. And over here. Thank you. Now, right, we're going to, yes, thank you, make that required. So, what do we need? What am I missing? Oh, I need to set a max length on this. Right? It is also personal data. Yep, required. Max length. 50? 50 is good. That's fine to get things started. Been sitting on an idea the entire time. I'll start messing around with. I feel that, mixtape wizard Kelly. Write it down. Ideas, when they're written down, start to become more real. I use Obsidian notebooks for that. I write things down and then start blowing them out then and writing down more features and things around it. And then start adding images. So, okay, so I've added a display name. I need to actually put this into use here. And our admin needs a display name as well. And finally, on nav menu here, context, user, identity. That doesn't have to use user manager to get that. But my user manager is over in the other repository. So how do we do this? I could set up an interface and allow it to return. Hang on. I've already got this user accessor think I need an interface. I think I need an interface. Come here. Thank you. Nope. Public interface. iUser repository to keep it separate from. No, not T-user. Sorry. Hello.
PowerShell_Freak just resubscribed for 59 months.
PowerShell Freak. Developers. Oh, I jumped into the DuckDuckGo. Thank you so much, PowerShell Freak. 59 months with us. How you doing there, friend? I'm losing control. Yes, that's what I want. It's not even string ID. It's maybe it's string ID. I have a claims principal. Is it going to let me pass claims principal? It is. That should be user repository. And move that out. No. Move type. Good. So now I need a real one that's running next to this. Public class. iUser repository, right? What? Oh, it should be control. Yeah, implement the interface. Now, I need to inject identity user accessor. Is it in? Yeah, it is injected. Okay. Okay. So I can, right? I can make this identity user accessor. Sure, just call it accessor. That's fine. Right? Why don't you like that? Yeah, I'm getting there. But I already have the claims principal. So maybe no. So maybe I just need user manager. PG SharpSite user. No. Didn't want to throw. So, can I do that? Takes a claims principal. Why doesn't it like that? Because this isn't async. Can we make that one line? And it isn't going to like me returning null. Yeah, I know it's a null reference. I know it is, and I'm okay with that. There we go. So let's move this to its own file. Thank you. And back over here in register services. No. iUser repository. Yeah, there we go. User repository. Okay. So now I can receive the iUser repository, and I'll always get the correct one. What's iService Provider? iService Provider is a dependency lookup tool that you pass into it an interface or an implementation that you're looking for, and it will give you one of those on the other side. So I'm going to go back to nav menu down here and see it's going context user identity. I need to get the current user. Think this through first. How do you pronounce that? Duduknji? Hello, welcome. So it gets HTTP context and turns it into. Well, that turns it into a PG. I might not need that user repository just yet. Okay. Stand by. Where was it? Nav menu. Okay. Take that. And this needs to be just one of those. Thank you. It knows what it is. Good. And the way that it fetches it, it receives user accessor. The structure of the object. A concrete implementation of the object. I need to receive an identity user accessor, but that's sitting over here. And it's being... So how do I inject... How do I... From the website where it doesn't know about this, how do I get that version? Right? Oh, the twists and turns. Doing the dependency management here. Thinking. I could do another bit of reflection to get it. If I inject service provider, no, wait a sec. Hang on. Wait a tick. I might have this. Get authentication state. Yeah, there's a user hanging off of that. right? So that is authentication state. I don't think it can do that. That's a claims principal. What? Oh boy. All right, so let's do this. So because this is nullable. So instead here, I got this. I got this. Look at that. We got this figured out. Inject user repository. That thing. Sure. I need to take this phone call. Pardon me for a second here. I'll be right back. All right, I think I got that. I'm just closing some final paperwork. I'm acquiring the RV tomorrow, so. Why not setting display name as a claim and get it using find first value claim? If I do it as a, by doing it this way, it's sitting there as a column in the table, and I can mark it as personal data, and it gets handled in the export as well. So let me go back to the code over here. So where was I? I added user repository, so now I can say let's call this auth state. Right, so now I can say user repository. Yep. Not identity. That's not right. Auth state user. And we need to await that, John. There we go. So now up here where we were outputting the person's name, I can say user dot display name. Okay. Last bit I need to do. I need to generate. I need to generate the migration, right? So just to make sure that you saw it here. So I've marked it as required. I've got a max length, so that helps with data entry, which means I also need to put it on the profile page. But by marking it as personal data, it's automatically handled by GDPR. If I had made it a claim, yeah, it would flow around. It would also appear as part of the ticket. And as part of the jot. And I could certainly grab it from there. I feel like that's kind of being loose and fast with somebody's personal data. And I don't know, I feel like that's rude. So where was I? Before I put that on there, in the profile over here, there's profile, there's username, right? I'm going to put it. Come on, do all the formatting. Fine. Find value input. Display name. Enter your display name. Okay. Oh, wait a sec. That one should be phone number because that's the phone number one. Okay. Now I need to put on the input class over here. Yeah. That's right. let's make it required, and let's also put that max length. Okay. On initialize, see this? Ugh. Like, just get the user. This is... like, we have individual methods for these. That's kind of annoying. Like, right? That's a PG SharpSite user, which has a username and phone number on it. So instead of calling this again, why not just do user.username? Right? User.phone number. Right? Like, set phone number async. Sign in manager, like, that feels dumb that we've got these settings for this instead of saying fail to set phone number if the phone number, like, like, this user display name equals input display name. Done. It's not going to be null. This is going to be required. There we go. So now let's add the migration. Right? .NET EF migrations add. I need to specify the context. PG security context. Right? Is that right? Yes. And the output project. Shoot. Excuse me. Well, that was... okay. That was a thing. All right. Where was I? Thanks. I was trying to get the migration running. Okay, the project that we wanted to write into is SharpSite security. Oh, I didn't give it a name. It's going to choke and say, I don't have a name. Building, building, building. Yeah, what's the error? Manage index razor 50. Dog just wandered by. Display name equals double quotes. Which feels totally weird for something that's required. But hey, what do I know? And I'm going to call this user display name. Let it build. Here we go. Cool. Build succeeded. Let's give this a shot. It should apply the migration, and we should have now a display name that appears. And for admin, it isn't quite right. Yeah, the dog just wandered by. So he's a big boy. He's an Akita. So here it is starting. We should see the migration applied. There it is. Alter table, add display name. You can see the alter table. It's hiding behind the keyboard. There it is. Alter table, add display name. So now we should be able to go over here. Bang! Oh, that stinks. Yeah, where? Nice. A mini golden doodle rarely makes an appearance when presenting. So this is in nav menu. So we should put a question mark there. Yep. Oh, no. I hate this. This is the problem that I have with Entity Framework. Second operation started on this context. Because things are running async, so it's trying to run multiple instances and gets and fetches and all that stuff. Yeah, DJ Blizzard. Mm-hmm. I registered the user repository as scoped. So, what if we did this? Private SharpSite current user. Is not null. Wait, we can do it this way, right? No, why don't you like that?
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
That's a right one. That's okay. That so now it won't access it multiple times. Identity user accessor, I believe, is set the same way. Yeah, it's registered scope, so I'm getting one for the user. But am I using identity user accessor over here? I'm not. I am on the page. No. Hey, Creptine. How you doing there? Where is this being referenced? Hang on. Some good progress. Yeah, what you working on? Can you share? Marcus.
Marcus Voice Coder just resubscribed for 30 months. Where did all the time go?
I don't know. How are you doing, friend? Can I just do user manager? Right, because that's all that this thing is doing. Get user async. And it's... Right? And we know that's good because this is a logged in user. Get user async. That's going to be a user. It's going to have one. So if I put that, I think I need to wrap this whole John. There it is. Same yellow lenses? How you doing, Mark? Got your gunner glasses in earlier. Got the Call of Duty ones. Nice. I don't think User Manager does, but I'm requesting 2 different accesses to User Manager. So let's just access one. So it's not being injected and passed around a bunch of different places here. But I have a sneaky suspicion. And even then, I feel like I should use... If I use my little user repository object, it caches it so it requests it once. Yeah, bang. Hit it again. If I go through here, it stashes a copy. Yeah, that's annoying. No, don't do that. Refactoring an API to make it more modular so you can reuse it. Moved away from auto mapper, creating your own mapper. I'm a big fan of moving away from auto mapper because I believe that it's easy enough to generate the explicit operators that you need to do the mapping between them with Copilot. Just let Copilot generate the explicit conversion and use the syntax that's already built into the language. Done. Now you're not using auto mapper at all. And you've generated the stuff that you want to run at runtime. You've generated it to run at design time. I think that's a little bit easier to use. You're working on a data tool. I feel like you just gave yourself more tech debt. I'm over here in index. This is the one I'm working on. Not email. Put that away. This is on the submission, so I think... What if I just in iUser repository, right? So then when we initialize, now what doesn't it like about that? Okay. So maybe I'll get the caching coming out of that. Okay, and bang. Hit it again coming out. But at this point, is current user still is null. I'm gonna yank that. Yeah, I know. I need to create a scope first. It's not service provider. It's iService collection? No, I was right. I think that works. I need to dispose of the scope first. Using var scope equals, yeah, services create scope. So it creates its own little scope, so it shouldn't run into that issue. Would switching to transient help? No. Yes, but not always. There we go. Ah, there we go. Hitting it again. Coming out the other way. All right. First things first. Let's go back and fix some of these other things. Get rid of this. Yeah, it accesses the database every time, exactly. So what I'm trying to do is instantiate a little bit of caching here so that it's not hammering the database every time it goes to load that. Yes, that was right. That's fine. There it is. Profile updated. There we go. Okay. So if I log out... no, it's admin at localhost. And it was admin 123. And then we're in. Cool. Not now, go away. All right. I think I have that fixed, so now that I have the users logging in properly. Can I just get rid of that? Hang on. Delete that. Yep. Go ahead. Sure, go ahead and save that password. And now I can add a admin link to do that. By creating scope inside scope service, we get transient behavior and cache the user inside. You got it. You got it. And it's isolated in just that one place. So I'm hitting the escape hatch on it for just the one thing we need to fix. Okay, I need an admin area. Right. Let's commit what we've got at this point, right? Fixed user, save and added display name. Cool. Next bit is adding a admin area where we can start doing and where quite frankly I want to pull page admin and post admin into those into that area, right? In here. So I liked the way this managed layout works. Just bring this concept in. To the admin area over here. Add, now let's do this way. There we go. Let's call this admin layout dot resort. Now, because this lives inside of I should be able to do that. I need a manage nav menu. What's it called? Imports. Layout. Admin layout. All right, so we've got that built over. Wait, not that one. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And admin layout is here, and admin layout needs manage nav menu. So let's create one of those here. Manage nav menu resort. Authentication. Yes, you've been prototyping in Blazor for work. What a coinky dink. How you doing, Terrence? Hello. So I'm going to go to the other manage nav layout and sheet. All right. I don't need sign-in manager. But what I was doing here with the authorized view take those. We're going to put this up here. Take one of these. Put it there like that. Navlink class navlink. Href match sure. And I don't need a span deal in front of that. And this is a close li. So you're going to get page admin if, yeah. And I don't need this. Cool. I think we've got this. All right. So, yeah. This is the one that everybody gets. So I'll grab that one, bring it over here. Not that one. We need to fix that, but not yet. Everybody gets this one for managing posts. But this should be an LI. Navlink class, Navlink admin posts, good. We can get rid of the span. Okay. So this is a further authorization to get you into page administration. That's the logout button. Okay. But back over here. Boy. Code It Live? Whoa, Nelly. Hey there, friends. It's the team from Code It Live. How you doing there? Raiding with a party of 6. Hey, how you doing there, Sultan Burnham? Yeah, let's go. How's things? So great to see you. Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Jeff Fritz. There's Ed Charbonneau. We're working on a content management system framework using Blazor that's growing into something that we think is pretty interesting here. And we're working on some of the authentication and system configuration items here. We got raided by the Code It Live crew. How you doing there, friends? Can you let us know what you were doing on your channel? And we'll drop a shout out for the Code It Live, for our Code It Live friends. There we go. Make sure you check out their streams. They're always doing some cool stuff around web development, application design, and helping folks. Been doing an AI stream. Oh yeah. Let me see. I'm going to save that. Using AI to generate CSS themes for Blazor in real time. Okay. That's intriguing. That's interesting. Okay. That feels like something Copilot should be able to help with. But very cool. I need to fix this. Let's call this manage the sites. Site management. I don't know, something like that over there. And there's a thing. I need to put user admin in here, and I also need to put in the main nav menu an item that says, hey, if you're a user, you can go access this stuff. Currently using Azure Vision. Really? So what are you, like, scanning an image and picking out colors for it and generating a layout based on that? That sounds interesting. So that's for your profile. So in here, so I have a constants roles. I think I want like an all users constant. Let's no. There we go. Public const string all users. So that it wants a CSV of roles. There you go. So now all users is a thing that should go away. There it is. And I want it to go to just /admin. And I'm going to remove this for right now. And I'm going to put, just call this site admin. Let's see what's Ed got to share there for us. Color scheme detection. Azure AI Vision analyzes the colors in an image to provide 3 different attributes: dominant foreground, dominant background, and a larger set of dominant colors in the image. So dominant colors black and white. There shouldn't be a blue in there. Shouldn't there be a blue? There's definitely black. Background black. What about green? I think there'd be green. Foreground black. No, the foreground. That doesn't feel right. Black, black, and black. Oh, it's not impressing me. The accent color. Okay. Like, I don't see white in this image. I see a bunch of blue and blue up here and lighter blue that fades into orange. It's all right for what you're doing? Cool. Very cool. That's a neat idea. I think I need to add a base admin page. So let's add index razor, and I'll have this. Yeah. And we'll figure out what it looks like. Put some content on that page in a bit. So we just did a little bit of reflection to locate and assign a layout to pages in a child library. Oh. Here. Let's see. SharpSite, web, components, layout. Try that again. Text the brightest and darkest colors. That's what it sounds like. That sounds right, VVG. Yeah. Which isn't exactly background and foreground. Background and foreground. I don't know. Let's see, what do we got here? Okay, administrator, site admin. So we need to fix some of the indents here. There's a thing that should be next to these. Page admin, post admin, manage the site. There's the index thing. So there's where page admin would be. There's where post admin would be. Okay. Got to clean up a little bit of the CSS. But that's right. And if I log out, site admin goes away. Cool. Log back in. Yes. I know. And there it is. So I need a logo to go with administrator, and I need to fix the site admin layout there. This one? PX-3 nav link, and there was a thing next to this. So there we go. All right, now they're lined up. So I still need, and it's got a huge amount of space between those. Like, This is an LI. It's supposed to be a div. Unable to build changes. Build errors. What build errors? No build errors. Ismail Scalita, hello, welcome. Did it? No, it opened over here for some reason. There it goes. That looks a little bit better. Still need to figure out icons to put next to these. But once again, I'm not too worried. Let's fix the layout of that. So li class, oh, get rid of the px3. That's what it is. There we go. Page admin, post admin. Yeah. All right. And there's the post. Add a new post. Create a new page. Cool. I don't think a hot reload. Well, maybe it did crash. I don't know. Yep, add all that stuff. Added admin area. Okay, so I have that admin area, so now I can create a user's admin page. Right? That shouldn't be too bad to do. Ads are picking up in about 5 minutes. Right, so if I create a user's admin page, that would go up here with right, pages post. Do I put users at the bottom? Yeah, let's put users at the bottom. Yup. Oh, really? That's annoying. Right? No. Class equals nav item. Class equals nav link, right? Href equals admin users. I don't think I need to have a complete match. And I'm just going to call this user admin. We'll localize it in a bit. That was hot reload crashing, to be sure. Let's also... No. Hang on. I'm getting confused. Constants, roles. What did I make admin users? What's that? Nah. Okay. Right, that way I have an abstraction around the name of the administrative role, so I can shuffle that around. You want to ride your bicycle? You want to ride your bike? I need the admin users page next. Right? Yeah. No. What's this? That's it. Let's call this user list razor. And we'll create a modal to pop up for you to actually edit the users in. Yeah. Did I call it? Yeah, admin users. Okay. Oh boy, I need the user manager. If I use the... Yeah, that one. No, this. Jump to it. There we go. I'm going to want this to return a task of IEnumerable. IEnumerable or iQueryable? Yeah. I think that works. And I want this one. Are you kidding? Users. I think I'm missing a using statement. Yeah. Holy smokes. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Okay. So if I go back to user list. Hello, hello, Rambling Geek.
Rambling Geek just resubscribed for 42 months. Afternoon.
Good
I
afternoon.
wish I could get here more often.
It's all good, my friend. Hello, how are you doing? I need to check something real quick here. So let me pause briefly. I got to make a phone call, and I will be right back, all right? Give me 2 minutes. All right. Hey, there I am. Fantastic. Thanks so much for your patience there, friends. I've got a couple items of business that needed to be addressed and get pushed through here. All right. Where were we? Let's finish adding this user list to the site. I think we can probably do that with a quick grid. And once we have the quick grid on the page, I think we just need a click-through on it. Maybe a list of what user role they have. Let's see what we get here. There we go. I think I have a quick grid on page list. Right? No, I just have a simple. There's quick grid. There's our friend quick grid on the post list. Okay. Let's do the same thing over here. Well, I need the I do need to authorize at the top of the user list, right? And I realize I just... Really? Sure. Only admin users can get in here. And I also wanted quick grid. Cool. Quick grid wants an iQueryable. And it's not going to be an iQueryable of user. It's going to be an iQueryable of SharpSite user objects. Sure. That works. Uninitialized async. I don't think I named it get users. I called it like get users. Is it get users? No. Yeah, get all users async. And that means we need to make that. Come on. Really? You're not going to let me just real quick? I don't need to return there. I can just await. And now I need a grid. Oh. SharpSite user. Okay. Yep, it didn't finish that. Okay. Template column, property column. We don't have the columns. Right, I can get rid of some of these. Get rid of that. It's not quick grid text column. It's like property column. Yeah. And it's property. What have I done? Now. Really? No. Yeah, u.username. Okay. Get rid of the rest of this stuff. I don't want to see it. Display name. Hey there. Lime Oats. Welcome. Display name. Let's just stick with those to start. We should get the one user popping out. And then we'll be able to... Right, we'll know that this is working, and I think I want to put their assigned role on the end. But I'm going to have to hit the role manager and... No, I'm going to have to hit something and go find their roles. And I don't want to... I don't know. All right. Site admin. There we go. User admin. User list. There's no users. Data is grid users. Users as queryable.
Oh my.
I know. Where'd they go? One user. There it is. So that should load in here. which should update this, which should update that. No users. I shouldn't have to do that there. No, I didn't think so. Property column, property. Oh, I got to put an @ around it. What? What am I missing? Property, format, title. Is there a line here? It's just not showing. No. Restart it. Is it items? Is that what I'm... Oh, I think you're right. Here it comes. I was too trusting of Copilot. All right, site admin, user admin. There we go. All right, that's it. Thank you, Cool Pants TV. Right, Mario coins to you. There you go. Don't spend them all in one place. If you collect 100 of them, you get an extra life. All right. So I feel like I want to put their role over here and then a link, or maybe their username is a link to open up a dialog so that we can go through and edit that user. Let me see a couple things here real quick. All right. Let me commit what I've got right now. And this is the initial user admin page. Thank you. Hey, Steve.
Steve_Elliott just resubscribed for 53 months.
Much appreciate. Thank you for the support. There we go. So I still need to be able to grant roles from that page. But I also want to be able to see the roles, and I want to be able to, I guess, just edit grant roles. I won't worry about suspending users or anything like that yet. But I want to pause development here. Yeah, let me pause, step away. I have a daughter that's driving home right now. I need to check in on that. And I've got one or two other things that I need to get to. So I think I need to stop for today. I was going to try to do the hot wings lunch. Let me lock in on that for Monday. I think I can I know I can make that happen for Monday. And I can set that up a little bit better. So let me wrap up for now. Because there's a couple of other things that are going on that are weighing on my mind that I want to make sure that I take care of. Hey, Corey. At some point, it's going to make sense to talk to you and figure out what an OAuth plugin, what an Auth 0 plugin looks like for this. But I'm not ready to start talking about plugins yet, but when we get there, the idea of being able to swap in and out security providers is something that I think it's going to be very interesting to build. Let me get you set up for a raid here. Here comes the raid call. And let's run a raid, and let's go over and see our friend Brian Clark. He is Clarkio over here on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the other videos I have available for you either below or over here, depending on which tool you're using to watch, which YouTube app you're using to watch the stream. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you joining me, helping me out, writing some of the code here. We're moving along, we're growing and moving things in the right direction, and that feels good. I'm just a little distracted with a couple other things that are happening here today, all right? I will not be streaming tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday. I'm running Monday through Friday during the week. So I'll be around on Discord over the weekend. If anybody's looking for me, you want to work on something on SharpSite, we want to talk about it. Happy to chat over there on Discord, all right? Have a fantastic rest of your day wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.